Hi guys, it's me, Bit of Everything. I call my channel Bit of Everything because there's a bit of everything in there. I do all kinds of things. So I got a funny story, an embarrassing story. I wear dentures, okay? And I don't know, 4 months ago, this tooth came out and I put it in with super glue. So I was eating yesterday, I bit into a pork rind, one of the hard ones, and I saw something fly. And I thought, because it crumbled while I was eating it, and my dog went after it, thinking it was pork rind, ate it, or got it in his mouth, and then spit it out. And I didn't know what it was. And then I realized, oh my God, my tooth is missing. So I had to pick it up, wash it off, and then the only kind of glue I had was nail, the nail glue that you put on, and I put too much on, and I stuck it in there, and my finger stuck to it. So I pulled out. I had a tooth stuck to my finger, and then I put some more glue on because I thought I messed it up, taking it out of my mouth. So I put some more glue on, peeled my finger off, held it in there, and all the glue overflowed onto my tooth. So it looks like I have food stuck on my teeth. And this one is longer. It won't go in. So I'm so embarrassed, but it's kind of funny. I mean, if you would have seen the whole thing, the dog eating a tooth and my finger stuck to the tooth, it was funny. So I'm going to be embarrassed because this tooth hangs down. And what I got to do is get some nail polish remover and soak my dentures and the tooth in it, because from the last time I glued it, actually this is the third time, from the times that I super glued it before, I guess it made a layer of hardened glue, which made my tooth hang down lower. Sorry, it's just, I was very upset. And then I had an edible, and it was like 2 3 hours later, I started thinking about it and laughing by myself. So I'm embarrassed, but yeah, that's why my tooth looks funny. So, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. I was going to come on here before I straighten my hair, because that takes forever. It's a long job because there's so much hair. What the hell was I going to say? Oh, I've had a couple people ask me to talk about my past, and I was going to talk about it, but I had made the recordings, and then I realized I named the names, or I said something about a person that everybody would figure out, you know, the people that know me would figure out who that was. And it also connected me to my ex that abused me, and I didn't want him to hear about it and maybe come after me. I'm not like truthfully Trisha and will keep bashing him. I'll I can just tell you that yes, he hit me, spit on me, pushed me down, threw a phone at me, punched me, and strangled me. And the strangling part was the last one, because I was thinking about my kids. What's going to happen to my kids? That was all that was going through my mind. Um, and thank God his cousin came in and told him to stop. Um, but that was true abuse. That really happened. And when I met him downtown, I was downtown, and I met him. I didn't meet up with him. I met him. He was there, and I was there, and we ran into each other. And he was like apologizing all over again and saying it was the crack, because we used to do crack. it was the crack. It makes you moody. I would never do that. And all I can remember while he was saying this was his ex-girlfriend who had died of an overdose that told me and my husband at the time, Pete, he wasn't, we weren't married, we were common law, the father of my kids. Yeah, the only man I truly ever loved. So anyway, she was saying something to us about him, and then she said, please don't tell him because he'll beat me. And Pete said, he's not going to beat you. She goes, oh yes, he will. And when we left, we got in the car, and Pete said, he's not like that. He doesn't beat women. Oh, guess what? She was telling the truth. So, okay, a bit about my past. I'm going to keep telling you guys stories about my past. I'm not proud of them. Some of them are funny, and some of them are really bad, and I've kept them locked inside of me and haven't told anybody. But I want to get to know my subscribers, and I want you guys to know me. So, like I said, it started off with taking an actual half a Percocet. That was it. Then I was up to one perk and blah, 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 blah. Then we started visiting doctors, and you would go in and hand them $25 immediately. That was the first thing you had to do. And then say, what do you want? And I would say, he could only give Vicodin because he lost his license to give out a higher schedule. And he said, I said Vicodin, Valium, and Vicodin, which is a cough syrup. With, I don't know if it's codeine in it. I don't think it's codeine. I think it's hydrocodone in it. And that's what he would give us. And then Pete would come in right after me and get the same thing. So we would sell the pills, all the cough syrup, and all the Valiums that either him or I had. And then we'd split what was left, which kept us from getting sick and gave us money to survive. So we had 3 doctors, and all 3 of them got busted. All 3 of them. So we kept trying to go to new doctors. It wasn't working. The doctors were scared because I guess it was the feds were going after all these doctors. So all the doctors that did give out were not giving out anymore. So it was a time we were both withdrawing and felt terrible. Withdrawal's not fun at all. And someone came around and said, I got some heroin. And Pete used to be a heroin addict, so he was like, okay, cool. And I was scared to death. I was like, oh my God, no, I can't do that. But I was sick enough at the end of the day, or at night, I was sick enough I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning. My legs were aching. And I asked him, can I have a little bit? And he said, yeah. And I snorted it. And it made me sick. I was throwing up. Everything that I ate was coming out my mouth and my nose. And it was like violent vomiting. However, once my stomach settled, I felt better. And I was nodding. And I liked the fact that I could sit there and be talking and watching TV and doze off for a few seconds and come back. I loved that feeling. I don't know why, because I was an energetic person. But, so that started me on the heroin. So we started going to the doctor. We found another doctor. We started going, we each get our stuff, and we'd sell all of it and buy heroin. That's how I became a heroin addict. We got busted at a house. We went to buy something. And that was when I had the shotgun to my head. I mean, this police officer, he wasn't holding it, you know, like arm's length away. He had it right at my hand. I could see it as I'm laying in a puddle of water. And, you know, that was like my first arrest. And we got home, and the people that we were busted with came over, and we were laughing at certain things, like the dogs humping each other, the drug dogs. Uh, they were sniffing around. All of a sudden, the one dog started humping the other dog. And now we weren't laughing then, believe me, we were scared. And it was scary, but it didn't stop me. You think it would, but it didn't stop me. But I never had to do anything. Pete worked, he was a cab driver, so he always had money to get us well. Most of the time. A couple times we'd have money and nobody had anything, so we'd be really sick. And, well, I'm at 11 minutes already. So I'm going to stop, but I'll continue on another one. You can consider this part 1, and part 2 will be coming up. Unless you don't want to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, put it in the comments or whatever. But anyway, real fast, Pete treated me good. He was very good to me, and he always tried to make sure I had something, and he kept working as a cab driver to make sure we had money. We still lost my house that I had. I owned a house, and I lost it. And that started us couch surfing, sleeping on different people's house because we didn't want to tell his parents. And it finally came to a point I was pregnant, my first child. I had nowhere to go. And we had to go to his parents and tell them, okay, he was a sports gambler. He was gambling on the games. That's what he told her. And so she let us stay there, but she made sure we got an apartment. And it was right around that time I got on methadone, which saved me. And I'll continue that on part 2. You can watch it or not watch it. But if you're interested, hit like and subscribe. I'll be back. Thanks. Bye.